This is the Wemo Smart Video Doorbell. It's a wired doorbell from Belkin's smart home lineup called Wemo, and it's one of the few doorbells to fully support HomeKit Secure video. When it comes to doorbells, there's so many of them out there, from wired to wireless, across so many brands, each supporting their own ecosystem like Google, Amazon, Alexa, or in this case, HomeKit. I'm upgrading from Anker's Eufy doorbell because I wanted HomeKit compatibility built in. I'll show you what the installation of this wired doorbell looks like, show you some real-world video and audio quality tests, and explain why HomeKit Secure video is so incredible. There are chapters below, but let's get started. So in the box, you get the camera itself, which you can see is actually surprisingly large. You also get documentation including your quick start guide and warranty, an angled wedge if you don't want it looking straight out, the bracket, and then screws for mounting, and the power kit with connectors. But getting to the massive camera itself, you can see that on the front, you have an HD camera at the top which packs a portrait-oriented camera, offering a 223-degree diagonal field of view, which by the way is the largest on the market, at least according to their website, and also has pretty clear night mode as well. Then you've got the mic for audio and two-way recording, a light sensor that switches the camera to night mode, the doorbell button, and a speaker. On the back, there's the power contacts, micro USB for use with Chime bypass mode, a reset button, and the security screw hole when mounting. So at a glance, it's actually a pretty large doorbell to have, but what's even larger is the features packed inside, which I'll show you in real-world tests after the installation. So if you already have a wired doorbell, this is extremely easy to do. And if not, you're likely want to hire somebody to run that electrical, and that is not what this video is about. I will, however, give you the disclaimer, remember to turn your power off before starting. So first off, we're removing the current Eufy doorbell from the wall and the existing bracket. Next, we're adding in the Wemo bracket to the wall, then feed the wires through the bracket and feed the wire into the contacts and screw them into place. End result should look something like this. Next, simply put the Wemo doorbell onto the bracket and finish by screwing the security screw into the bottom of the doorbell. Finally, and the most satisfying step, taking off the plastic. So once your power is turned back on, you'll see the Wemo doorbell start up, and all you have to do is hold your phone nearby, and it will automatically ask you to set up the new doorbell in the Apple Home app. From there, it asks you to set up your notification and recording settings, and then it's basically ready to go. So really easy experience on that HomeKit side. So before I dive too far into the HomeKit and the features that come with that, I want to show you guys some real-world tests of both the audio and the video. In terms of video, you've got an HD view of the day view here, highlighting a 270-degree field of depth measured diagonally, which works out to a fisheye lens of 140 degrees wide and 223 degrees tall. And that view means you can zoom pretty far in and still get some great detail here. Here you can also see the night view, and although it looks good, I think in my test the white trim around the door actually interferes and makes it a little less clear than it's capable of, so keep that in mind as well. It just doesn't think it's as dark as it should be. Now the Wemo doorbell offers two-way audio, so we're testing the mic and the speaker of both.
This is a test of the microphone on the camera.
But you also have a built-in speaker which you can hear here.
This is a test of the speaker.
So like I said, the Wemo doorbell includes HomeKit support, but rather than support, it's actually the only way that you can use this doorbell, with all settings controlled directly through the Home app and no Wemo companion app available. And by the way, that also means that if you have an Android device, the doorbell won't work for you at all. When viewing footage, your doorbell should automatically be at the bottom of your Home app in the camera section. Opening the footage, you can see the portrait-oriented footage. At the bottom, you have the timeline of all your snapshots, and by the way, these snapshots show little icons in front of them to tell you whether it's a person, pet, package, or vehicle. Nice touch, Apple. And on the right, you have the buttons that show nearby accessories so you can turn on the lights or unlock the door while viewing the footage. Also nice touch, Apple. You can hit the share button to share saved footage, adjust the volume at the top, take it in picture-in-picture, and because it's HomeKit, you can actually view footage on any devices that support HomeKit. So you can see it on my iPad, and even your Apple TV will be able to view the footage as well, which in my opinion is really cool. Now you notice how the timeline shows icons, right? So this is actually taking the footage, sending it to your HomePod or your Apple TV, whichever one's your base, so it can process, and then it does face and object recognition. And this all happens all before it even notifies you. So all these processes run in the background on your home base, and then you get the notifications in real time. So a lot of really complex stuff happening here that just isn't possible without HomeKit. Now to give it a head start, it can scan the faces from your Photos app, and if it sees somebody it doesn't recognize, you can manually label that person for future occurrences. And these matches, by the way, are going to sync across your entire family, so everyone will be able to see labels of who's at the door. And just like on every other camera, you can set up recording zones to only get notifications on specific sections, which is perfect if you're on a busy street, simply by tapping the edges of the screen and drawing out that zone. Setting up notifications, you can choose specific times to get notifications, set only when I'm at home or when everyone in the house is gone, and then you can choose what motions you want to be alerted by. And again, you have the option of people, animals, vehicles, or packages, all scanned in real time. Now there's a lot of other features, but the main one I thought was really cool was the Doorbell Chime feature. So yes, of course you can use your existing wired chime if you have one, or because HomeKit, you can actually use all of your HomePods as a chime. And this isn't just HomePods, by the way, it actually basically works with anything that can AirPlay. So you can see here, even my thermostat is listed on the list of available chimes, and that's a really cool feature to have. So that's basically all of the features of this doorbell. But getting to some of the Q&As you guys have, and by the way, if you want your questions answered in reviews like this, follow me on Twitter at VittorTech, because that's where I always post questions about each review before it goes live. So number one, does it record 24/7 like Nest Hello? No. Apple has their own limitations because it is HomeKit Secure Video, which allows snapshots from the last 10 days of activity. And so far in my experience, those have just been snapshots of activity. So it's not just recording all of the time or in increments of 10 minutes or something like that. It's just when it sees people, packages, pets, cars within that zone of activity. Number two, can I use other HomeKit security cameras at the same time? So this one is yes, but by default, the iCloud Plus storage plan only allows one camera. If you upgrade to 200 gigs, then you're getting 5 cameras, and if you upgrade to 2 terabytes, you get unlimited cameras within HomeKit. So number 3, and this is a really common one that I get quite often, will this video storage count toward my iCloud storage limit? No. While you do have to have one of those storage plans, these snapshots are not counted against your existing storage. And lastly, number 4. So what are the working temperature ranges for this camera? And that's a great question. So the Wemo doorbell operates in -20 degrees Celsius all the way up to 45 degrees Celsius, and in humidity between 10 and 80%. All right, guys, so that's the entire review. So far, I think the doorbell has been incredible. The form factor is sleek, although huge. The HomeKit support means I can cut out yet another smart home app because it's integrated, and the facial and object recognition is just incredible in my opinion. Now, I know I answered all of your Q&As, but if I missed anything, drop it down in the comment section below and I'll get to them as soon as I can. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button because it tells YouTube that videos like this don't suck, and hit the subscribe button while you're down there to see more videos like this from me. Thank you guys so much for watching and supporting the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.